Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Happy Bitcoin Christmas, everybody. Crypto Christmas, as you can see, Bill and I are coming to you today just for Santa Claus. This is going to be quite the stream. Hey, Bill, how's your Christmas? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Santa. Thanks for having me on the show.
So, Santa, what'd you get for us this year?
Well, I got a new microphone for YouTube, and I got hoodies because we have a new tradition here that Santa's got to wear hoodies in order to keep the bull market going. So everybody around me did their part.
Nice, nice. Did you happen by any chance to get us alt season for Christmas?
Okay, well, the elves are still working on alt season.
Oh man, pandemic, right?
Yeah, it's there's delays in shipping.
Nice, nice. So Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all our crypto family out there. Hope you guys can hear me with this big mustache I have on, or this big beard I have on. But let's see, shout outs. So let's see, first person on the stream, C Sharp. What's up? How are you? Merry Christmas, Millennial, Jonathan, Matthew, HR on Twitter, Griffs. Yes, Merry Christmas, crypto family. Mistaken, Lambolicious Bag Lady, what's up? Crypto, what's up, Chris? Are you still in Dubai, Chris? I'm coming through. New Year's. Chief Brody, what's up? Millennial Insight, Mistaken, Jacob, Pablo, Crypto, Andy, so many people. Be sure to smash up the like buttons, subscribe. This Christmas, Bitcoin Christmas live stream is going out to YouTube, Twitter, Periscope. Also gets turned into a podcast. Be sure to join at tokenmetrics.com/podcast. And by the way, we have a 25% off discount for the 12 days of Christmas for Token Metrics. People are already taking advantage of it. If you missed the Cyber Monday promotion, be sure to take advantage of this discount. The coupon code is 12 days of TM. All caps, 12 days of TM gets you 25% off of Token Metrics. All right, so I think let's hop straight into it. If you guys love the beers and the Santa cap, be sure to smash the like buttons and subscribe. Bill, so how's the market? Well, I'm sorry, Santa, how's the market?
All right. Well, the good news is everything is okay with Bitcoin. The bad news is everything is okay with Bitcoin because it looks like Bitcoin is kind of a wrecking machine that's hurting the alt market. Okay. So the first warning was when Mike Novogratz decided to get a tattoo of the moon. You know, we love Mike.
That. Was that real?
That is real. Let me get a minute to pull it up.
Oh,
so Mike got Mike got a tattoo. Here it comes. Okay. So here's Mike from Twitter. With the moon tattoo, and I actually marked it on the 19th, and that was the day basically ETH fell out of bed and got pounded ever since. Now, what can we take from this? Well, we love Mike, so we're not dissing Mike at all, but something important happens because Ethereum now has a futures contract. And one of the things that hedge funds love to do is they like to be long one thing and short another against it and try to actually make money on both legs. It's the way they call capturing alpha is the fancy term. So I'm wondering if it's not a coincidence that when like one of the biggest Bitcoin guys out there gets himself a moon tattoo, Ethereum gets a futures contract, and then all of a sudden Ethereum falls out of bed, okay? And it takes alts with it. Now, speaking of alts, there was regulatory action this week that obviously disrupted the altcoin market. I used Token Metrics' correlation function, and I looked at XRP and Link because I've heard chatter about action against,
Link
Stellar,
as well. Yeah,
Link.
I heard that as well.
Okay. So for the sake of just doing a market report, and of course this kind of, it's taking the glow out of Rudolph's red nose here is that Dash shows up as highly correlated to XRP, and so does Zcash. So if something happens to XRP, those may get dragged down with it. And I also noticed for Chainlink, okay, you had Ren correlated there, and Ren has been underperforming despite a really strong fundamental story. Now, let me come out of this chart and go to something else to try to provide some hope to the XRP army. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't remember this because it's become like the hottest thing ever. But back in 2018, the SEC sued Tesla in September for making comments to try to push short sellers out of the stock. So Musk got sued. He had to change his corporate structure or the nature of his employment with Tesla. And Tesla went down for maybe 6 months and then recovered. So there is life theoretically after regulatory action. As far as the chart goes, okay, this is alt market cap, okay, which has obviously been hurt by the regulatory action. Now, this green line is the 21-day moving average, okay, and you might not be able to see it until I zoom it up this way, okay, but that green line, alt market cap, is having trouble there. Now, what are we learning from that? Well, one, big Bitcoin players may be shorting Ethereum. Two, the players, okay, that have to sell the Bitcoin to these huge corporations, right? Like when they buy a bunch of Bitcoin, they're buying it from an OTC desk. And there's large players out there that as a result of this, they're short. They've got to do something to try to get people to come into the market and dump Bitcoin. So what do? Well, they pick on altcoins. That's why 2 days ago, you look at your screen and all your altcoins, like the big ones and the small ones, are all down 20%. That'll just take the ho right out of the process.
Well, great time for our customers to be in stablecoins, as we mentioned. They come in handy for times like that.
Right. Yes. And some of our models for the day trade on the day of the big crash, our models were in stable coins that morning. So, that really helped. I think that there are other charts that need to be looked at here. I got a bunch. So this is XRP. And the way I'll draw it is really simple. When you have these kind of events, even numbers become important. So there's 30 cents where there's a cluster of support, if you can see my mouse here. And then if it goes all the way back down to where it came from, it's 20 cents. Basically, all I can say about XRP is TA related. Now, for altcoins, and I can, talk about certain other things in a minute, but this was brought to my attention by our private group. So if anyone out there is considering token metrics, our private group, it just provides a huge wealth of information. And I have to do more research on this coin, but as you can see from the chart, it's moving from the bottom left to the top right. It's called DeFi chain, and it's being advertised as DeFi on Bitcoin's blockchain somehow. Now, I think this is really interesting because I had not thought that DeFi 2.0 might occur on another blockchain other than Ethereum. So I'm going to bring this to people's attention because I really don't want to see any more downside price action in some of these big coins like Ethereum, right? In other words, if things are going to stabilize, right? I don't know if you can see this.
The PDF, yes. We can chart back.
Okay.
All right, so if you're enjoying the live stream, please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and most important of all, share this video with your crypto friends. It's Merry Christmas. Spread the love, spread this Christmas spirit, because Bitcoin and crypto is the best gift you can give for Christmas.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So here comes Ethereum. Now, the good news is if Ethereum can stay above 623, it's got a lot of room to go up. Okay. However, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned that when something should go up and it doesn't, it raises an eyebrow. Let's just put it that way. So if you can see here, this is the token metrics price prediction for Ethereum. Now, earlier in the show, we talked about the possibility, and again, it's just a possibility, that somebody's picking on Ethereum using the new futures contract. Now, if that's true, okay, this graph shows Ethereum has downside risk to 471. And when I put this chart together, ETH was at 612. So there's a time and a place to go full cowboy. I know you're looking at two crypto guys in Santa suits, but you need to be careful that you don't get wrecked, so that for the next trade in next year, you're okay.
That's a good point, Bill, because I have a quick question for you. I recall back in 2018, I was in Miami at a crypto event on a panel with this hedge fund guy from Wall Street. And he told me once Bitcoin futures market was launched and would start, that it was time to short Bitcoin. And I said, why? He said, because for the first time now, people can actually short Bitcoin. And going back to that day, he told me that Bitcoin pretty much went through the bear market. So could the same thing happen when ETH futures launch in February? Would that mean that Ethereum is pretty much going to be a short and enter a bear market for a long time?
Well, it means people can pick on Ethereum, right? I don't know if it produces the type of thing you saw with Bitcoin, but it does allow for very big people to buy tons of Bitcoin and be short Ethereum against it, particularly if DeFi 2.0 either doesn't materialize or occurs on a different blockchain. Now, there's also another reason to just be cautious about ETH, and that's that Bitcoin could just become a monster on the upside. We were on a panel discussion last week with some of our crypto YouTube brothers. A lot of these guys had, Bitcoin statistics like PayPal, Square, and Michael Saylor are taking out 2.5 times the amount of Bitcoin being mined every day or every period. So to them, Bitcoin could go to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, I didn't say anything at the time, but then I turned around and did some research. Okay. Bitcoin never went down on this last flush. And it leads me to believe that all these market makers that are selling to the big players are short. And 26K could be next. If you look at Bitcoin market cap on a weekly basis, there's a lot of green candles here, and it looks like Bitcoin is headed for 500 billion. Okay, so $500 billion Bitcoin. Can you imagine that headline and how it might impact altcoins? Bitcoin has become Godzilla. Okay, now dominance. This is at the top of everyone's mind. Now, these shaded regions are where alt season is supposed to be happening. So every year around this time, you're supposed to have an alt season. Well, we're obviously not doing that, which is a kind of a flag. Bitcoin dominance is at 70, which seems, almost absurdly high to me.
Super high.
Yeah. Ridiculously high. So you might expect alts to recover. Okay. But I think you have to start asking yourself, what happens if Bitcoin becomes a monster? So the market has paid you to buy alts when they were down. Okay. So here's an example of an alt idea that's still working for the moment. That would be Litecoin, right? What's the best reason to like Litecoin? Well, because no one likes Litecoin.
Yeah. First of all, Bill, great call on Litecoin. You've been bullish on that since what, months? And that's actually been the best performing coin this week because I was keeping track for the Tokemetrics contest. Litecoin is so far the best performing coin in the top 100 market cap in the last 7 days. So great call on that.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think if it goes above 120, it can actually be the altcoin that follows big brother Bitcoin higher, right? Because if ETH is stuck for reasons that have nothing to do with ETH, if we have regulatory action hurting other top 10 coins, Litecoin becomes like the altcoin leader. Okay. And even when I'm looking at, this is Litecoin versus Bitcoin. It's a 3-day chart. And what you can see is Litecoin versus Bitcoin is knocking on the door. And this could be a major breakout for Litecoin, right? If Bitcoin breaks to 26K, Litecoin may actually start to outperform Big Boy on the upside. Now, again, a note of caution. We don't want to get crazy. It's Christmas, I know. We're dressed as Santa, we know. But if you made a bunch of money in Litecoin and it stalls at 120, bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. So don't be a pig in Litecoin, especially if it fails bad at 120.
Yeah, cash out and buy yourself something nice for Christmas.
That's right. Now, synthetics. Okay, this thing traded at 12 on Coinbase, some sort of strange event going on there. If you miss synthetics and there is a JIP, right, and you do want to buy it when, say, the market gets wrecked, if Bitcoin goes up, then the thing I'd pencil in is the $6 range. Okay, I don't know if it can get down there because of how strong it trades, but if synthetics went to 6, I would be a buyer. Okay, now everyone is asking me about the graph.
Oh man.
Everybody.
That's been the one.
Okay. So there's a head and shoulders top. This looks a lot like Yearn. This is just a 4-hour chart though. So if 30 cents holds, that could be a buy because normally the 62% retracement is a good place to get in. Okay. But the way this is set up, the graph could go to 10 cents. Now, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade because I know that this has got good technology. But honestly, again, big brother Bitcoin is scaring me, particularly when there are formations out there like this. Okay. It's the same thing in Yearn. Okay. You see this pattern, you see the breakdown and the return move back. You know, hopefully Yearn can go above 26K and invalidate this pattern. Make no mistake. I don't want any of these charts to be correct. Now, one other angle from another market, gold. This is a gold monthly chart. Obviously, with Christmas, we're approaching the end of the month. A lot of people sold gold to buy crypto. We of course, we welcome that money over to crypto, but this looks like it actually wants to go up a lot. Gold could be the next Litecoin, believe it or not. This thing that no one likes that all of a sudden goes straight up. All right, now let's talk about DeFi. So the DeFi futures contract, I felt like was consolidating to go up. And that could still be the case. However, I'm noticing on a 2-day chart that prices keep making new highs a little bit, but the stochastic indicator at the bottom where the purple is, it keeps making lower highs. So for the rest of this year, even though I want to scream DeFi 2.0, and I would love to be wrong about this, but until somebody stops picking on ETH, you got to be careful in DeFi because a lot of this flush that occurred the last 2 days, it looks like you should be buying the dip, but I would rather wait until it holds and have ETH take out like 623 and wait to get involved. Because if you catch the falling knife in this and Bitcoin goes through 26,000, okay, that is not a Merry Christmas for the alt community.
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely not. So if Bitcoin turns itself into like a crypto Godzilla, then altcoin traders have to preserve capital. All right. And at Token Metrics, you know, a lot of our models are in stable coins. There's kind of a time and a place to be a crypto cowboy and be long. Okay. Even when there are cautious signals. But when you see the type of action we've had lately, where it's like all the way down and kind of halfway back in the same day, that makes me a little bit careful. So Santa's gift to you is just a brief reminder that the thing that keeps you in the game is your trading capital. You can stay long stuff that's working, but be careful about catching the falling knife, particularly if ETH is not outperforming Bitcoin.
All right. Great analysis, Santa. That was amazing. So if you enjoyed analysis like that, be sure to join Token Metrics by going to tokenmetrics.com and use the coupon code 12 days of TM. That's going to expire by the end of the year. So this is our last chance to give you a chance to join Token Metrics with a 25% off coupon code. Once again, this expires in basically 6 days. So if you want to join and get more analysis like that, like what Bill was showing on your screen was actually the weekend chart pack our customers received, right? So if you like that, be sure to join. And also tell us what you think down below. Oh man, this beer is killing me. Santa, the things we do for our crypto family.
Yeah, you know, it's the yeah.
All right,
we're gonna have to
take a look at the. Okay, so if you have any questions, we do have Mentimeter open. Let me share the code. Go to menti.com, menti.com. Okay, right here. The code is 856375, 856375. Go there, submit your questions. Be sure to follow us on social media, on Twitter, on YouTube, LinkedIn, IG, Facebook, podcast. I've also just recently joined Clubhouse. So if you guys want to follow me there, just find me at Diary of a Made Man. That's my same handle on Instagram and Twitter. Find me on there. Clubhouse is pretty cool. I think this could be the next big social media app. There are a few crypto groups I've been joining. But anyway, let's go through the rest of the presentation here real quick. Okay, so on the agenda, we mentioned we've done the market update with Bill, which is always good. We'll give you special holiday updates. We'll do question of the day, crypto showdown, crypto therapy, and the AMA. All right. So once again, the coupon code to get 25% off, go to Token Metrics. Let me just make sure I have this recorded here. Okay, so we're doing 12 days of crypto Christmas, 12 days of Token Metrics. And one of the 12 days, I think we launched on the 20th. So this is day 5 or 6. So the 6th day, we're giving away, well, actually, no, it's the Christmas live stream. But the second day was a Token Metrics coupon code, 12 days of Token Metrics, 12 days of TM. Go to our site. You can just go to tokenmetrics.com, click pricing, pick your plan, enter that code at checkout, and you'll be good to go, right? And once again, this code expires very soon. It expires at the end of the year. So if you want to take advantage of this, or if you have friends who haven't joined yet, make sure they use this coupon code to get 25% off. Because we had lots of people ask us, hey, they missed the 40% off for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So because it was holiday season and we're Santa Claus, we made this coupon, right? So this is the way for us to say thank you to everybody because ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Okay, all right, let's continue. Okay, so once again, as mentioned before on the last live stream, we're doing the $1,000 Moonshot contest. So thank you to everybody who put in their bids. Once again, the instructions were to go on Twitter, tag us and tag the project and pick a coin in the top 100 market cap you think will have the best ROI by the next live stream, which is Sunday's live stream, right? So on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, we will announce the winner. And so far, the winner is Litecoin. Now, there isn't really a chance to put in any new picks because obviously the week is almost over. And the tiebreaker will be based on the person who has the most likes on their tweet, right? And as I mentioned last time I checked, if we go to 7-day ROI, Litecoin is number 1, right? So, I mean, Bill, did you put in your bid? Because Bill has been on the Litecoin train for the last few months, right? And it's been doing pretty well, especially when Ripple brought down the whole market in the last few days. All right, so once again, this is a $1,000 giveaway. Plus, you also get a free token investor account for basically 1 year, 12 months. So it's a win-win. So if you really wanted to join and if you really want some money, this is how you get that money. Okay, all right. So time for us to do question of the day. Question of the day, Bitcoin has hit, okay, this one is over 23K because it's been a monster. Basically, Bitcoin's at 24K. What do you think is the main reason behind this run-up? Institutions and adoption, the maturity of Bitcoin and its blockchain tech, media coverage, people's fear of the rising inflation, the Bitcoin halving, or something else, right? Bill, what do you think is causing Bitcoin to rally?
Okay, well, obviously, institutional adoption, it's not media attention. If you look at the top Google searches for 2020, Bitcoin doesn't appear in any of them. No one has searched Google for Bitcoin. This time in 2017, Bitcoin was the only thing anybody was interested in. So we're living in this polar opposite universe.
Yeah.
I think the other thing with Bitcoin is, like I said, it's become bigger than anybody could imagine, right? I mean, can you imagine at this time last year, if I got on the live stream and said tech CEOs would be calling each other out on Twitter to put their whole cash balance sheet in Bitcoin? I mean, the live stream would have probably ended 5 minutes later because everybody would have been like, that's insane. Okay.
Yeah.
But that is what's happening. So it's institutional adoption and it's peer pressure. It's like if you don't have Bitcoin, you're invisible. You're not relevant. There's something wrong with you. Now, we would love it if that would trickle down to the rest of crypto, but Santa may have to come in 2021.
I'll add on to that. I think, as you said, institutions are definitely driving up the rally, but I think Ripple is also, or XRP, I should say, is causing the rally as well, because Ripple has essentially been crashing after the SEC announced they're doing a lawsuit on Ripple, the company, for XRP, basically having a unregistered security offering that's basically continuous. Plus also the officers, right? Brad Garlington and who's the other guy? Carlson, right? Basically the CEO and COO, basically the co-founders. But if you notice, XRP has been dumping because hedge funds and funds who have been in XRP, they legally have to sell because they can't legally be in securities. So that's also causing additional sell pressure. And if you go to the XRP pairs, on Token Metrics, we now have a markets page on each token. So looking at the XRP market. On Binance, they do have mainly Tether, Korean Won, but there's also Bitcoin markets on larger exchanges like Binance and others, right? So I think all these people who are forced to sell XRP to Bitcoin, right? They're buying Bitcoin. So I think all that, because XRP is the third or fourth biggest cryptocurrency out there, or was, I should say. And now it's causing them to really, XRP to tank, but Bitcoin to rally, because people are taking capital flight to Bitcoin. Funds who legally raise money from their LPs saying they can't invest in securities, they now have to legally sell, right? So I was going through the document for the XRP lawsuit, and I found it pretty interesting. Let me see if I can find one of the pages I was looking at. Please bear with me. So this is an annotated document from Catherine Wu on Twitter, but I went through her annotations, and I found this, depressing, to be honest. It's very hard to read this and not come away thinking that, one, XRP is dead forever, because what the SEC, by filing this, they've told Ripple, the company, not to touch XRP at all. And for those who know, XRP didn't really do anything unless Ripple, the company, had a hand in it, right? Because they had market makers that were supporting the price, that were adding liquidity, which is what the SEC says. And basically, they were timing news and announcements with the market, which is against SEC and security laws. And if Ripple can't market make XRP, where does it go? Because that's a huge market to support with no market makers. So, and they can't really do anything to prop it up, because Ripple was propped up, but also suppressed in terms of rallying, because anytime the cryptocurrency would rally, the market makers would sell to take profit. That's how they're able to cash out over $1.5 billion, I think $1.3 billion in total Ripple has made from selling XRP onto the market through market makers. So yes, that takes away the pressure, the selling pressure, but also the support, the base, the market makers. So I think this could go very, very low, unfortunately, to our XRP army who's watching this. Our condolences. But if you're long-term, there could be a bounce back, but I doubt XRP will be in the top 10 market cap next year, by end of next year. Because imagine if the SEC lawsuit takes 1 to 2 years. Because I know XRP, Ripple, they're bringing the best lawyers, and the SEC has good lawyers as well. So this could be a long legal match for a couple of years. So imagine 2 years with no market maker in XRP. It's very hard to be in top 10 with no market maker. Honestly, exchanges are making the markets, but Ripple, because the token has no value, honestly, right? And was barely being used. So the company was creating all the value. So the company can't create the value. It's going down, unfortunately, right? Let's see what people have to say. Ian, in your opinion, is XRP a security or a currency? I'm no lawyer, but in my opinion, I've already said XRP has been centralized, right? Because the company owned more than 60% of the supply. So that's not really a decentralized cryptocurrency by the community's definition. And the fact that going through the SEC's argument, I think is a very strong argument. I'm no lawyer, but I think I would likely side with the SEC in terms of that. And then also exchanges now have to delist XRP. Right now, the speculation that Coinbase, all these big exchanges, they have to delist it because they can't list securities, because no market makers and getting delisted from major exchanges, that does not add up to a top 10 market cap project at all. If anything, they might even get outside the top 50 or top 100 market cap. Anything is possible now in crypto, because we've seen this with BitConnect, right? Where it was top 10, top 20, went straight to zero. I'm not saying XRP is going straight to zero, but I think it could decline 90%. So if you're an XRP and you've made money, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, buy yourself a nice gift, but buy the missus something nice, cash out, and live to tell another day, or however that phrase goes. Dill, any thoughts on that?
Living to fight another day is an important idea for the fans of XRP. Our hearts do go out to these people, especially since these actions are taken by a government that's on its way out. So this has been a tough government for crypto, and they're looking to add punctuation to the end. My hope is that it ends with XRP, that there isn't more of this piled on, because these guys still do have roughly 30 days.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned earlier Chainlink, and I've been hearing this as well from, well, not for Chainlink per se, but from lawyers, because we speak to lots of lawyers because we're in crypto. And they're telling me they're expecting the SEC to also have something similar for DeFi, because the SEC typically enforces or regulates through enforcement. They basically enforce or file a case towards a company to show you what they view as non-compliance. So we haven't really seen this for DeFi. So people are speculating right now. I think it's still speculation that possibly Chainlink, because Chainlink raised from U.S. investors, didn't do any KYC, to my knowledge, unless it was kind of behind the scenes. I don't know, right? Or some people were speculating Uniswap, right? At this point, no, it's all just pure speculation. But one thing that's common I'm hearing amongst lawyers in the crypto space is expect some kind of action in 2021 on DeFi. So I mean, let's wait it out. Let's see what happens. But let's have our fingers crossed, all right? Because we're all hoping for a great 2021 in crypto. So tell us what you think. What's your take on the lawsuit and regulation in crypto space with the SEC? Tell us what you think down below. All right, let's get back to. So I did share the link to the annotated document in the chat if you guys want to check that out. Okay, here we go. All right, and the winner is institutional adoption, followed by media coverage, and then the maturity of Bitcoin and its blockchain tech, and then the Bitcoin halving. Okay, all right, so time for us to do Crypto Showdown. All right, Crypto Showdown. Which cryptocurrency do you believe will have the best year in 2021? Options are Chainlink, Ethereum, XRP. So I think based on the comments we've been saying, I think 2021 is going to be rough for XRP, in my opinion. I think you basically have Ethereum and Chainlink. I think that one's tough. Chainlink, if the speculation ends up being correct and Chainlink is the DeFi example by the SEC, that takes Chainlink down, right? So Chainlink is not going to do too well. But I think with ETH 2.0, I'd have to go with Ethereum. I think Ethereum could be that one, right? I think Ethereum could be the top pick in Santa's bag. How about you, Bill?
You know, I have to agree. You know, once bad news starts, it can spread. So even if the SEC doesn't act again after XRP, it can always sort of leave that fear hanging over everyone's head. And I think in Chainlink, that is what has been keeping the price of that capped, right? Because I haven't been able to understand why Chainlink doesn't move. And now we know why, right? And Stellar could also be on that list. So even though, you know, Ethereum is, you know, our favorite from multiple reasons, you know, if they go after DeFi, the only things that may be safe would be Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum, right? Yeah. Until a new administration kicks in, right? Once there's a new SEC group, then we can probably be less afraid, assuming they don't do anything before that.
Yeah. Okay, so some comments here. Mickey is saying, are these outfits real or CGI? These are real. These are real, like crypto, right? Real outfits, you know, you can take it off. Okay, so
I'm feeling the heat here. These outfits are real.
Well said. Okay, so Hunter says they just hired the head of the SEC is pro crypto and is going to drop the case. Please stop spreading FUD. Actually, that is not the case. Let me pull that up here. So I think it's talking about the new SEC active commissioner is the keyword you should understand, right? So he's the acting commissioner, meaning that he's just filling in place until Biden appoints somebody, right? Elad Roisman, right? Let me share my screen on this. Okay, so Roisman named acting SEC chairman. So acting means that between now and until Biden is sworn into office, Biden will then appoint the actual chairman, right? So he's basically just a temporary, he's basically a substitute. Like he's just in here for the next few months to hold down the fort, but not really do anything, right? I think there's an official term for this. What is it? Do you know the term, Bill? Like when you can't do anything? Anyway.
Lame duck?
Yeah, lame duck. Thank you, Bill. Bill's always on the spot. Yeah, so he's basically a lame duck chairman. He's acting in here until somebody else is appointed by Biden. So he can't really do much. And this XRP lawsuit is going to take longer than a few months. It's going to take years, typically, I would think. Because my understanding is they did try to settle, and XRP or Ripple wasn't able to come to an agreement, right? So I think it's going to take a long time. And by then, there'll be somebody else. But we know that him and Hester Pierce are bullish on crypto. But I'm not sure he's as bullish as Hester Pierce. Because to my knowledge, I mean, first of all, even Hester Pierce didn't come out publicly and state that XRP was not a security. She typically has done that for other projects like Unicorn, Kin, right? But it seems like even she believed this was a security, right? Because she's not putting her neck out there on the line publicly to issue any statement on this. So this is not FUD at all, right? This is just getting started, right? And I think as investors, we can't just be bullish all the time, especially on projects that are in pretty big lawsuits, right? So tell us what you think down below. And yes, Benji, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, share this with your friends. Christmas spirit, Bill and I are dressed up as Santa for you guys. So we hope the best you can do is subscribe and share and like the video. All right. Let's go on back to the stream. Okay, so the winner is Ethereum. So people are bullish on Ethereum. All right. The Minty code is at the top of the screen. Minty code 856375, 856375. Go there to submit your questions. Okay, today we won't be able to do the voice calls, but we'll do a question from the forum. If you have any questions outside the show, go to our forum, forum.tokenmetrics.com, forum.tokenmetrics.com. Okay, and one of the questions from the forum is, best low market cap coins to watch for 2021. Okay, this comes up a lot all the time. One that comes to mind, obviously all this is not financial advice, but at least the ones I'm bullish on that are low market cap. I am invested in P Network. Let me pull this up here. So this is cross-chain DeFi. Okay, just give me 1 second. Google's pulling up the wrong one. Right, cross-chain DeFi composability. Honestly, I'm not expert on this token, but our developers gave it a code review and it scored pretty well. And its market cap, it was like around 10 million or so when I got in. And it's DeFi and cross-chain. So to me, DeFi, cross-chain, good code review, low market cap. I mean, to me, that's my lottery moonshot. Obviously, very super high risk. So it's very speculative. You can lose all your money. Actually, you're probably likely to lose all your money, but this money I can afford to lose. And it's basically my flyer, right? So that's the one I'm actively invested in. That's low cap. Bill, any low caps you like?
Well, I'm looking at this DeFi chain. I have not done the full fundamental research on this yet. Okay. But I am really interested in anything that is moving the way this is. I mean, this thing's done nothing but go up since we were talking. Yeah. And everyone is always asking, is there 100X out there? Now, I don't know that, but I do know that this whole idea of DeFi on Bitcoin blockchain is something that no one talks about. So if it could be this, or it could be something else, it could be like DeFi 2.0 is so surprising that, you know, the coin that's going to 100X hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, there are a few other low cap coins, but in respect to our customers, we don't want to share them. But just go to tokenmetrics.com, log in if you've subscribed. And because just going through there, I'm saying, let me pull this up here. Give me 1 second. So looking at this, we have one that's market cap of about 600 million. And the other one has a market cap of about 11 million. One with a market cap of about 14 million. Yeah, so, and all these have grades of 80% and higher on the yearly. So definitely go and check that out. That's the whole point of Tokenmetrics, being able to give you low cap hidden gems before anybody else, right? And as you mentioned, we're working on adding the auto import to scale up. Right now, we have about 600 coins, and we'll be scaling up to 6,000 coins. So that's going to be huge. So definitely be sure to go to tokenmetrics.com to check that out. Let's check in here with the audience and see if they have any questions. Okay, no questions, just comments. People saying ETH is the best, but don't know after the future launch. Yeah, we agree. Okay, all right. So with that being said, tell us what you think down in the comments below. But those are the low cap picks. Obviously, you're probably going to lose all your money, right? That's one thing when we talk about low caps. So don't go in there and bet the house. Actually, don't put in more than max 5%, but probably even less than that of your portfolio into low caps like that. Because the worst thing we hate to hear are people who go into low caps, get wrecked, come back and whine about it. Because if you're whining about it, it means you put in more money than you could afford to lose. Because just tell yourself that, write that somewhere on your computer, on the wall. If you ever whine about losing money, it means you put in more money than you could afford to lose. Because in theory, your bets should be so small that you don't care if you lose the money. That's when you know you're doing it right. Bill, anything to add to that?
You know, when you're trading, you probably should be risking at most 2 to 3%. You know, your initial trade should be 1 to 2%. You know, when you trade, the thing that keeps you in the game is your capital. And if you lose all your capital trying to 10x it, you can't play anymore. You can't be there when there is a day when DeFi 2.0 happens, or, you know, regulators settle with these companies, or these companies quickly settle the way Tesla did, right? I mean, who wants to fight these guys? So the only way to be there when it happens is to have capital.
Yeah, well said, Bill. Well said.
And not chase things out of frustration. That's another thing, right? If you miss something, you know, don't feel like, oh my God, you know, because there will be another one in crypto.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go on to first question from the AMA. Actually, let me pause the. Can I close the voting? Okay, I cannot close the voting for some reason. Okay. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and proceed. Okay, Zilliqa has been pumping hard. What are your thoughts on it and its long-term potential? It is looking like it may be a top 10 project at some point next year. TA as well. Okay, well, I mean, for the official ratings, go to tokenmetrics.com to check that out. But we can kind of speak to it in general. Zilliqa has had a pretty good code review. Obviously, not the best project, not the first project we would pick for blockchains, especially for smart contract blockchains. But it's a decent project. If we go look at Zilliqa based on market cap, let me see where it's at in market cap. Market cap is, so it's top 40 market cap project, which means it's decent. But here's if we had to look at any possible disadvantages, Zilliqa is competing with Ethereum and ETH 2.0, right? If ETH 2.0 does what it says it's going to do you really need Zilliqa anymore? And Zilliqa is meant to be a high-speed blockchain. So, and it has no developers, to my knowledge, building on it, right? I mean, compared to Ethereum. Ethereum has 2,300 active developers a month. I'm not sure how many Zilliqa has, right? Bitcoin has 230. That's why I'm all in on Ether. Ether has 10x number of active developers a month compared to Bitcoin. So it's eventual that Ethereum is going to take over. And Ethereum has over $1 billion worth of assets being staked for ETH 2.0. And this is just getting started. So if you had to ask me Ethereum or Zilliqa, I'm all in on Ethereum. Zilliqa is really, to me, would be a short-term trade. Because ask yourself this, what does Zilliqa have that Ethereum 2.0 won't have? I mean, I'm no developer. Maybe that's a question for developers. Anybody out here, maybe who knows the development activity on Zilliqa and how it's uniquely different. But I don't. If anything, I'd rather put my money in Blockstack, because there you're hedging with a blockchain that also has good tech and good developers, but it's being built on Bitcoin. I think Blockstack has surpassed Riff or RSK, which basically flopped. And when they launch Stacks 2.0, they'll bring DeFi and smart contracts on Bitcoin, because there you're hedging ETH with something being built on Bitcoin, right? You're basically saying DeFi will stay on Bitcoin. Then with Zilliqa, what are you really hedging? You're hedging just for a faster Ethereum virtual machine blockchain, because Ethereum will eventually scale and have those fast transactions. I don't really see what the value is. Okay, Alonzo says Zilliqa is just a Chinese pump and dump. Okay. I mean, maybe, okay, if you're hedging Zilliqa by saying it's a Chinese blockchain and they'll be targeting the Chinese market, but then it's competing with Neo, right? So is Zilliqa better than Neo? That's the question that comes up, right? You have all these other Chinese blockchains. So which one is the one? If you want the Chinese exposure, which Chinese blockchain do you get? Anyway, Bill, I'll pull up the TA whenever you're ready.
Okay, so Zilliqa was something that we liked. It had a head and shoulders bottom pattern. It's reached the target of that pattern, and it's hit like kind of a really big resistance zone. So if I had been long Zilliqa and I got a 1 or 2x out of this, I would take the money. I think part of the reason why this mooned is, again, that Ethereum futures contract has got everybody in crypto moving away from where the short sellers could push it around temporarily and into perceived alternatives. You know, is that perception correct? Probably not. There's a saying in markets, like, the first move is always wrong. So if people looked at the ETH futures contract and mooned Zilliqa, I would say take the money in Zilliqa.
All right. Well said, Bill. Well said. Yeah, and somebody was talking about how we were bullish on Zilliqa back in 2018. Yeah, I mean, that was 2018. This is now 2021 we're heading into. I mean, investments don't last forever, right? Especially Zilliqa did make people money. I think the high was, what, 20 or 30x? So, I mean, the money has been made in Zilliqa already. That does not mean you stay in it forever and ever, right? Especially in crypto, where every quarter there are new products coming out that are a lot better. Right, with ETH 2.0 happening, finally launching, that changes everything. Right, with Blockstack launching, that changes everything. Right, so all these new blockchains launching, the space is a lot more competitive. Right, so you can't stay frozen with your investments. Right, you have to adapt. Right, Charles Darwin said it best. It's not the strongest species or the most intelligent species that survives. It's he or she who's most adaptable to the environment, to change. Right, survival of the fittest. And right now, I mean, Zilliqa is surviving, but the environment is evolving, right? Evolution. We have all these new projects launching, and the space is, I mean, Cosmos launched, Cardano, Polkadot. I mean, all these projects were not there. Cardano was, but Polkadot, Cosmos, and so the space has totally changed. So you have to factor that into your analysis. You can't stay frozen in the past. All right, so tell us what you think about Zilliqa down below. Okay. Let's get back. Somebody was asking for the code. Code is 12 days of TM, all caps, 12 days of TM. Okay, that's a code to get you 25% off of Token Metrics. So be sure to use that today. Okay, all right. Let's go back to the live stream. All right, Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to you too. Can Synthetics SNX become a top 5 coin? Wow, that is, I think it's possible, because first of all, I do own Synthetics SNX, disclosure. I'm staking it and farming it on Swap. I have it in my long-term portfolio, which is ideally a year or longer, based on our Tokenmetrics grade. Be sure to join tokenmetrics.com. Use the code 12 days of TM to get 25% off. But why I like it is because it's going after the derivatives market, which is a huge market. And they've now officially become decentralized. Hence, that's why they got into Coinbase. How big is the market? Derivatives is 500 trillion, maybe even $1,000 trillion or more. If all that gets tokenized, Synthetics is a huge market. Bill, maybe you kind of speak to Synthetics and derivatives on Wall Street, how big that market is.
Yeah, I mean, Synthetics is a play on the tokenization of everything. So for example, if you see Tesla stock traded as a crypto token, that's a derivative. So you could tokenize everything from the Mona Lisa to the Empire State Building. And of course, every time a new token comes out, it can immediately have a futures contract and potentially options with it. So, you know, synthetics is kind of hanging around 7 and change. There isn't a lot of history on it. It would be glorious if you could buy a dip to 6. But with this, if the market's stable, to me, this is almost like the new Matic network. Like there was a period in altcoins in 2019 where there was one altcoin that was basically going up every day. And that altcoin could be synthetics. I'd love to buy a dip to 6, but the answer, can this become a top 10, top 5 coin? Yeah, it could. Because all the money that's coming into the system is going somewhere, right? And if you've got other coins in the top 10 that have problems, obviously there's going to be a surge somewhere to take over for those coins.
Yeah, well said, right? So synthetics is basically a protocol, an exchange platform for derivatives. And however, so think of it as kind of like Uniswap, but because they do have their own exchange. Let me see if I can pull that up here on my screen. Just bear with me if I can spell it. Synthetics. Okay. Right. So it's a derivatives liquidity protocol, but I want to show one of the exchanges that's running on their own platform. Where's that exchange? Right, all these are actually, let me go back to Google. Apologies. Okay, so this is an exchange running on their protocol. So with this exchange, they have synthetics for Bitcoin, DeFi, the Euro, XRP, Litecoin. This is not sure what that is. XA, is that gold?
That's a gold index.
Yeah, gold index, right? And I think they had oil, Chainlink. So imagine if they start adding stocks, Tesla, Apple, right? This is where they could be traded, right, on their protocol. So I think that this has the potential. It's not guaranteed, it's not financial advice, not guaranteed at all, but it has the potential to become a top 10 or top 5 market cap coin, as this person asked here in the question. So now the question to our audience, do you think SNX can become a top 5 coin? Let us know down below in the comments. Okay, all right, going on to the next question. Okay, Aave is next up. Okay, Merry Christmas. Where do you see Aave in the next coming bull run? Okay, Bill's gonna pull up Aave. Aave is a project we're also bullish on long term. The code is good. We've done a code review, great code, great adoption, wasn't for the Naval. They've also begun decentralization. So that's big because I talked about synthetics and Aave. We saw what happened with XRP. The SEC is basically coming out and saying publicly, if the team is controlling the growth and everything with the project, we consider that to be centralized. We kind of already knew that in crypto, but it also means it's a security, and we have people we can go after and sue or charge them in a lawsuit. So Aave and synthetics have now become fully decentralized. You can't turn them off. There is no central team member controlling anything. They're all now being governed by governance and DAOs. So that's big. So that makes us very, very bullish on them long term, that there's reduced legal risk in terms of being a security. I think that's also why they were added on Coinbase. I think Aave is on Coinbase as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then if we go to DeFi Pulse, for example, let me pull that up here. DeFi Pulse. So both of them are, so Aave is basically lending, right? Aave has been one of the blue chip coins. Third, $1.6 billion locked up, Maker and Compound. So Aave definitely has potential long term. And as I mentioned before, Synthetics is number one with 1.2 billion. So Aave is definitely something I would consider in a long-term portfolio. Obviously, depends on your time horizon and if you have any other projects that you're holding, but definitely worth looking into. Bill?
Okay, so looking at Aave, it's kind of a tough picture. It's good, but patience may be required. So this is a 2-day chart. Okay, this looks like what you would call a complex head and shoulders pattern, a bottoming pattern. Now, this can lead to enormous rallies. So this could lead to, Aave eventually going to like 170. Okay, the problem is, where's the bottom here? Is the bottom at 70? Well, I certainly hope so. There's really good support there. So if 70 holds, Aave's okay. If 70 doesn't hold, then you have to reevaluate. Personally, I would wait at least 3 or 4 days to see if Aave can hold here and start making a green candle, okay, before jumping in. Because if Uncle Sam comes in on DeFi and he does regulation on stable coins, that could change the picture for DeFi. So let the government do its thing. And I think you'll have plenty of time to get in on Aave.
All right, well said, well said. And if you want to check out the price predictions with our AI for Aave or Synthetics, go to tokenmetrics.com. Use the coupon code 12 days of TM, all caps, 12 days of TM, to get 25% off of Tokenmetrics. All right, back to the show. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right. Hi, Merry Christmas, crypto family. Why are Kusama and Polkadot not moving? Okay, good question. Good question. I've not been looking at the charts too much, but I do know the attention has died down. Before Bill pulls up the TA, I'll just quickly say that crypto moves in cycles. Crypto moves in like almost every month. There's a flavor of the month. In August, it was DeFi, Chainlink, right? Chainlink was going to almost $30. Then we had that Polkadot month where Polkadot and anything with Polkadot was just pumping, right? And I think that has died down, and now people are looking for. Then we had NFTs for a full month, and then we have Bitcoin, right? So, and then now I think what's the one for this? I think this month is Bitcoin too, really, right? I mean, nothing else has really been pumping this month. So the Polkadot train or the Polkadot pump and dump has basically played out. And now people are looking for something else. Crypto has the shiny object syndrome. So every single month, people are looking for that new shiny object. Well, they can't go to Polkadot again because they already did that the last few months. So now they want something new. So I think that's why Polkadot and Kusama is probably fizzled out until they do something new, something flashy and sexy. Maybe it's finally launching. Maybe it's when they launch PolkaSwap and they have DeFi or the on Polkadot actually running with their own protocols. But I think people just moved on. That's kind of like the high level I take from that. Bill?
Okay, so we were on with Oh Hey Maddie, and we talked about Kusama. Kusama is essentially like the Litecoin of Polkadot. And this actually did move. This moved from 25 to 60 because it's operational. It's working. Now, as you said, this trade may have been done, right? When something goes from 25 to 60, it is subject to the shiny object syndrome. Now, when you have Polkadot, right? Polkadot has frustrated a lot of people by not really going anywhere. Okay. Polkadot has gone sideways for quite some time. And I know that there's a big yield being offered on that on certain exchanges, but be careful because, you know, if someone's offering you 12% interest on something, you have to at least ask why. And I think with Polkadot, it's just because it's not operational, right? Like it'd be great if there was another DeFi highway, right? I think it would get Ethereum moving faster on developing 2.0. But the fact of the matter is, this is a huge market cap for a concept. Now it holds up okay, but it's still a concept. So the reason it's not moving is because it's not operational.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat also said everyone is bored of Polkadot now, and they moved on. Yeah, I mean, shiny object syndrome. People have moved on. They want something new, something flashy, right? So that's kind of, I think, why it's not moving. So tell us, no question to our community. Tell us what you think. Why is Polkadot and Kasama not moving? Tell us down below. Alrighty. Back to the AMA. Okay, we kind of answered this regarding Chainlink not being a security. And we kind of answered this about Graph as well. But I'll answer this at a high level as well. Okay, hello, Merry Christmas. Any thoughts on GRT, Graph, maybe the next Chainlink? So first of all, congrats to our audience, our customers who saw the code review we did on Graph back in, was it August? It was a while back. And our team did like it. So congrats to anybody who got in, made money on it. Our stance stayed the same with these token sales, IEOs, ICOs. They're pump dumps, right? Basically, you get in early, as Bill showed the chart a while back in the show. It goes up, then tanks. So our philosophy stays the same. If you like a project a lot, if you're getting in via a token sale or ICO or IEO, heck, even private sale, you don't go in with all your capital. You basically are dollar cost averaging. You put in your initial, right? As we said before, not more than 5%, probably a lot less than that, let's say 2%. You put that in, and it's basically a trade. It's a short-term trade with money you're willing to lose. Meaning that if it goes to zero, you don't cry about it, right? Then once it begins trading, you expect the shiny object syndrome to happen, which is what happened. Coinbase, Binance, all these new exchanges listed GRT. People FOMOed into it. It rallied, did like a 30x, which is great money. Take your profits and run. Now you cash out, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, buy a family something nice, and you wait for the rally to crash, right? You wait for the shiny object syndrome to vanish, for people to ghost, for the party to die down, fizzle out. Once it's found new support, then you begin accumulating a long-term position, right? And that could take months in crypto. It takes maybe a week to several months for that first pump and dump to fizzle out, because there's always a pump with new tokens, especially when they launch on big exchanges. So we're not surprised that it dumped, and it's still dumping. But now wait and see. That's why we have Token Metrics. We have Bill here with our show and the TA to help you guys figure out when it's about to fizzle out and when you can begin to maybe dollar cost average into it. Bill?
Yes, I think when it comes to the frustration trades, you have to avoid it as best you can, right? I know everyone wants in on the graph because they think it's the next chain link. Don't buy a coin because that coin is the next something. Buy that coin because it has merits on its own. Like the only thing I've ever heard about Graph is two things. One, we have a good code review, which was probably the reason to buy it originally. And then everybody who wants to buy it is like it's the next chain link, implying that they missed chain link and they missed the graph. So they're frustrated. And I know this is really hard, but take a deep breath, put on the Hallmark Channel or ESPN, drink some eggnog and relax. There will be another play that you'll be able to get on.
Yeah. And that also reminds me of value investing, because you aren't just looking to buy a good asset. You're looking to buy a good asset at a good price. That's what implies the value, because it's not just about buying something good. Because imagine back in let's say January 2018, if you bought Bitcoin at 19K, yes, Bitcoin is great technology, but that was the wrong time to buy. It's called buying the top. You bought Bitcoin and went down all the way down to 3K, right? So timing matters. When you get in matters. That tells you your cost basis. So it's not just because something launches on Coinbase and it's a good project that's the next chain link. That does not mean you buy it then. You try to get the best value you can. And to do that, you have to be patient, right? So we definitely recommend doing that. And we also recommend using Tokenmetrics and also our channel on YouTube and everywhere to help you with that, right? So be sure to use the 12%, the 12 days of TM code to get 25% off of Tokenmetrics. And tell us what you think about GRT. Do you guys think it's the next chain link? What's your price prediction? Tell us down below. Okay, next one. Okay, here's a good question, high level. What are both of your strategies for taking profits in a bull run? Okay, Bill, do you want to go first?
Yes. Okay, so strategy number one is you want to look for the best sentiment indicators you can find. A lot of times that's qualitative. Elon Musk's sort of tweet on Bitcoin that was sort of like, not in good taste. I think that was the high, like in the alt space, ironically. So watch out for extreme emotion. And then the other thing I like to use is, when something hits a major Gann point, like when I draw these diagonal lines, if something moons and it hits one of these points, that's when I tend to say time to get out.
All right. First of all, thank you to everybody who's smashing the like buttons. If you enjoyed the Santa outfits, if you're having a great Christmas, if you're having a great happy holidays, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Bill, could you unshare your screen? I think. Okay. All right. Then, so in terms of taking profits, this depends on you, but there are two strategies. So the strategy I like to do is I like to have things in the real world I'm trying to invest and make money for. So, for example, it could be paying off your debt, whether it's a mortgage, student loans, what have you, or it could be buying a home, right? So, as you're making money in crypto, you cash out and you allocate profits in a different account. It could be a new hardware wallet with just stablecoins, or it could just be a bank account, but somewhere where you're not going to be tempted to touch that money and trade it. And that money is just for that thing you're saving up for, right? If it's buying a house, let's say you want to buy a house for $500,000, as you make money in crypto, you cash out and put that money aside, and eventually you buy a house, right? So having that tangible goal reminds you to take profits because you got to buy that house. But if you have no tangible goal, you just keep on gambling that money and you'll end up losing all of it, right? Then the other strategy, which kind of goes hand in hand with this, is have specific profit targets for every investment you get into. Kind of like with every trade, right? Know your exit and your entry. So same thing with investing. You should know when is a good time to take a lot of the profits and when is a good time to pick up your ball and go home. Okay? Because, for example, with me with Helium, I'm very bullish on it long term, but I still have a mental target of, okay, I think Helium can get to top 20, top 30 market cap. Right now, it's been like between 100 and 120. So once it gets to top 20, top 30, I'll have no issues selling like 80% of my Helium and going home and going on to the next project because it's hit my target. Now, I'll probably keep some for the long term, but I'll have no issues taking more than half of the profits off the table. But then also with those early products you're investing in, you definitely want to take out your initial investment at least. So for example, if you put in money, let's say you put in $1,000 into a project, it does a 5x. You want to take out at least your initial investment, and the rest is just house money, just free money. And then you want to take money as it's going up, right? So it could be, in the past I've done basically taking about 20% after every 3 to 5x. So let's say after every 5x, right? So it does a 5x, you take out your initial, maybe plus an additional. Then it does a 10x, you take out 20%. It does a 20x, you take out more. So that's the approach I would do. Then when it starts crashing, you also take some money off the table, right? So best example I have is Icon back in 2018, which did 100x. So I put in 20,000, turned that to 2 million in basically 4 months. But I sold all the way up. I took out my initial. I think I took out 3x my initial, because when it launched, it was like a 20x. So I took out 3 times my initial, which was basically like 60 grand or so. Then, because ICO price was, its private sale price was about 12 cents. So when it launched, it was like $2 something, and sold a ton there, and went all the way up to $12. So I was basically selling about 20% on the way up, then also on the way down. Then after a while, when it came back from $12 all the way down to $2.30 something, I was like, you know what? Let me get out, because I kind of saw that the music was over. So I sold everything. Sometimes you have to do that, because sometimes that's where you get out. And not everyone will understand why you're getting out, because maybe the opportunity cost of staying around, right? Because I know when I got out at 2:30, people on social media were like, oh, Ian's I'll counter trade Ian. And that was basically the meme. Counter trade Ian. Ian sold the bottom. But I mean, last time I checked, Icon went all the way back to ICO price, back to 12 cents. So if anything, I was right. And that was the time to get out. But I mean, it's crypto, right? Crypto, you make 100x and come back down to zero real quick. So you have to take profits on the way up and the way down, and know when to pick up the ball and go home and say the party's over. All right, so tell us what you think. What would you do? Let me check the comments and see how we're doing here. My strategies are take profit on the way up and clean out on the way down. Absolutely. Million says facts. Okay, thank you. Okay. Alan says, I haven't made any money in crypto yet. All right, well, I mean, think long term, right? If you're here, you're going to make that money, right? I mean, just with Bitcoin, Ethereum, because people are losing purchasing power with fiat. I mean, that's why Marcus Seller, I know these big companies are getting into Bitcoin. They're putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet because they're losing money just holding the dollar. So this is eventually going to happen, right? So all I can say is, if you follow us, our crypto family, our community, use Token Metrics, use that 25% off coupon code, 12 days of TM, you'll get there. Think long term. All right. All right. So let us know what you think, and be sure to smash the like buttons if you're enjoying the stream. All right. Let's get back to the AMA. Okay, not sure what this is. We can't really do fundamental analysis right now on the show, unfortunately. But do go to the site to check out our ratings. Okay. We're seeing ADA. Okay, let's have Bill and you look into this. Okay, Merry Christmas, crypto family. Ho, 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 ho. When is a good time to go long on ADA, Cardano? Okay, Cardano. Bill? And if you like the price predictions, go to our site to check that out. On today's show, we won't really cover price predictions, but if you want them, just go to the site.
Okay, Cardano. So something has got to take over for the coins that are either getting sued or you're worried about them getting sued. So Cardano looks to be trading in a range between 16, which is resistance, and 14 cents, which looks like support. So the best time to get involved in Cardano, ironically, is if it breaks 16 cents and then comes back down and tests it. That way, you know, it's broken out. It's got this really nice base here. And as we like to say, the bigger the base, the higher into space. Okay. However, we needed to break out first. I'm not sure I'm in the mood to buy resistance. I used to do that in the DeFi days, but with the Bitcoin wrecking machine around, I would wait for this to break out and then buy the next dip.
All right. So you heard it first from Santa Claus. That's the official Santa price prediction on Cardano. Tell us what you think down below. Okay, somebody was saying we missed a question. Okay, let's go back to it. We'll do the TA on it. But next time, please don't try to package several questions into one in terms of fundamental TA and 2 coins. Otherwise, it becomes tough. Okay, so the question was basically, could we do technical analysis on, let's just pick one, Anchor, ANKR. That one I saw early in the show had a correlation, was it with the XRP or Ethereum? Might have been Ethereum, I think. For the official ratings on that, go to the site, tokenmetrics.com. Use the code 12 days to TM, which expires at the end of the year, to get 25% off of Token Metrics. This is it. This is the last call. Last call before that, the coupon and everything is over, and we enter 2021. Okay, so Bill's going to pull that up and do TA.
Okay. So in Anchor, right? This is a little bit like chain link syndrome. So the good news is it's holding just under 1 cent. Okay, that's good. But it has to demonstrate that it can do something to the upside, right? These candlesticks here looks like you've got some sort of big seller in the market, right? So it's not cracking, but every time it goes up, you know, above 1.2 cents, somebody's selling it. So it looks like all the easy money was made here, right? Ian just sort of told you, you know, it kind of pumps and then everyone left figuring out what to do next. So this is not bearish, but, you know, in an environment where we're worried about what Bitcoin's going to do.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Tell us what you think about Anchor. Are you bullish, bearish? Where do you think it's going? Let us know down below. And check out the price prediction at tokenmetrics.com. All righty. Okay, we'll be wrapping up shortly. This was a nice change of pace with the Christmas live stream that we do have to get back to Christmas. Okay, let me take a look here. Okay, can we get the weekly indices to update daily or more often than just start at the week? At the start of the week, I noticed they perform well, then don't adjust to the market and turn negative. Well, I mean, the whole point of an index is that it rebalances at a set time, right? So for it to be a weekly index, it has to rebalance once a week. If you want an index that has a rebalancing more often than that, then use the daily indices, not the weekly indices. So if we go to, and then by the way, we are working on a low cap degen index, which is coming soon. Stay tuned, it is coming. It should be coming by next month, right? And we'll restrict it to looking only at coins with a market cap under 30 million. So the low cap index will have only coins with market cap lower than 30 million and trading volume higher than 300,000. So basically the trading liquidity ratio will be 10%, right? Because that's typically good for crypto to have a liquid market. So we want to make sure that the coins in it are liquid, but because of you guys, our community, and the feedback, we always appreciate the feedback. So as part of next month, as also part of Christmas and 12 days of TM, we want to give you what the people ask, right? Because the people are always right. And you guys wanted a degen index, we'll give you a degen index, right? But if you guys get wrecked, be careful, right? Not financial advice. Do your homework, but it'll be nice. It'll be fun, right? So we'll take all the exchanges, all the indices, and there'll be an option to say, only show me coins with market cap lower than 30 million, right? So you guys ask for it and you will get it. Now, back to the other question. yeah, if you want an index that has more rebalancings than weekly, you have to do daily, right? Daily index, come here, do that. That will give you access to that. Right now, the indices, because right now it's basically been Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin has been trumping everything, right? So almost any exchange, if you're not in Bitcoin, right, you're not really doing well, right? That's why, if anything, the yearly has been better off because those have been heavier in Bitcoin, while day traders aren't really holding Bitcoin, right? If you're day trading on Uniswap, you're not really in Bitcoin, right? So yeah, right now it's really been a time to be a value investor or just in Bitcoin, right? But I think once we enter alt season, that's when the day traders and the short-term indices will fare very, very well. Bill, any comments?
Yes, there's a time and a place for everything, and you'll know when alt season starts because it'll be when Bitcoin stops or at least takes a break. So there are going to be alt plays. Like I checked the price prediction on Aave. So I'd encourage any of our subscribers or anybody who's thinking about subscribing to check that out. But, you know, Bitcoin is ruling the roost until further notice. Litecoin may go along with it. All right. And you just have to sort of take what the market gives you.
All right. Well said. Well said. Thank you, Santa. Okay. Let's do a few more questions and wrap it up. We'll do a long-term favorite with our community, Vechain. All right. Thoughts on Vechain, technical analysis and long-term outlook. Well, long-term outlook hasn't really changed in our opinion. I mean, Vechain has good fundamentals. It's always had good fundamentals, being liquid and all that, and awareness, and its market cap has always been pretty high. But the challenge has just been, I think, just on technicals, right? It's kind of been a market move play, right? Where the market has to kind of be right for it to start moving. But it's definitely one that's our community has liked a lot. That's why it's been on the show several times. And it's also been a winner of Crypto Showdown a lot. Bill, what does the TA tell you on Vechain?
Okay, well, you know, I'm always I'm always sort of partial to Vechain, but I actually do like this as is, right? So this washout in Vechain took it down to the 62% retracement. This is Vechain versus the dollar. So the fact that Vechain found buyers at that level means that, you know, Vechain is either going to continue to consolidate here, which is okay, or Vechain could actually go up. Sometimes Vechain has a mind of its own. So I like Vechain.
All right. Yeah, I think it's time for us to call out our Vechain army. Let us know what you think. Are you bullish on Vechain? Do you think Vechain can replace XRP? Because Vechain and XRP army have been going at it for a while. And if XRP falls from grace, will Vechain replace it? So calling all the Vechain army out there, let us know what you think down in the comments below and share this video with the entire army. Let them know, right? Santa is asking them, is Vechain going to the moon and beyond? Okay, all right. Let's see if we can get something else here. Give me 1 second. Okay, here's one I did hear about. Hello, have you seen that the Injective protocol will launch stocks? Okay, all right. Yes, so I did hear about that. Injective has been hyped a lot. Binance is backing it. It's definitely worth looking into. We did a code review on it. It was all right, but I think worth keeping an eye on. Right, Bill, can you do TA on Injective, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, here it
As
comes.
Bill's pulling that up, go to tokenmetrics.com to check out our price predictions on it.
Okay, so this is your standard, like I would call it like your moon cycle, right? Things move in 5 waves. Okay. Normally the fifth wave is like it's a party all the time. It's going up forever. It looks like that has just happened. So I think with stuff like this, unless it's like making new highs, it looks like
over.
some sort of corrective phase, right? Either that or the party's just flat out over. So, I'm not going to hate on this, but you don't want to be buying these coins after a huge run up. I mean, look at your screens right now. I mean, what's going to stop Bitcoin? Right? It's like it's Godzilla or something. It's just going to rise up out of the ocean and stomp on Tokyo, right?
Yeah. So if you made money on Injective, take those profits and ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Buy yourself and your family something nice. So tell us what you think about Injective Protocol down below. All right, Santa. It's been a great Christmas. Any last words for our crypto family?
Folks, if you're struggling with crypto, we would encourage you to stay in the game. It's tough to put up with these 20% swings, but you've not only got one Santa in your corner, you have two. So we wish you a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, right. Likewise, thank you all for being here on Christmas with us. We had to make sure we were here with you because we know in crypto, last few years has been pretty rough. But this year has been a great year for crypto. Lots of big players entering the space, from Wall Street to institutions to PayPal. So it's definitely been a very great year. We didn't get a lump of coal this year. We got moon missions, money, but most important of all, we had you guys here with us. And we think 2021 is going to be huge. So I wanted to spend the time here with you. Wanted to dress up as Santa because it has been a very festivus season. And most important of all, I want to make sure we gave you an opportunity to join Token Metrics at a discount before the year wraps up, right? So once again, 12 days of TM is the coupon code. 12 days of TM, all caps, one word. Use that at the site. Go to tokenmetrics.com, click pricing, sign up at checkout, put in that code. We'll get you 25% off. If you're already a customer, share that code with your friends, with the crypto family friends, because as we said before, not being in crypto is a financial crime. Not being in crypto is a financial crime. And if you're enabling your friends not to be in crypto, that's a crime as well, because they're losing their money. I mean, straight from the words of a CEO of a billion-dollar company, Michael Saylor, he said that they cannot afford to put the company's reserves in fiat because they're losing money. They're losing 15% purchasing power every year. That's why he's bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin with company money, with investor money. I mean, he even raised money again to buy more Bitcoin. So if billionaires are doing that, how can you allow your friends not to be in crypto? That is a financial crime. So get them in crypto and get them that Token Metrics discount so that they have the research, and get them to subscribe to our channel for free. That's the first step. Free content, free education, because knowledge is power. So with that being said, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.